Good morning, Tylenol babies. Good morning, all my Tylenol babies, all my autism children. I'm also a Tylenol baby, as we all are. And welcome to another episode of the Webcomics Hubcast, episode 21. 21, we're back, baby. We're talking about the news. Um, is that our base name? No, our base name is not Tylenol babies. We are not calling ourselves Tylenol babies. I want this to be said now. That was one joke. Eventually, it's gonna. I don't want it. I don't want to date this episode so significantly that it ruins my life. Anyway, there's a lot to get through today. Did you know that Naver Webtoon is still being called a Naver, like Webtoon Entertainment, Webtoon Entertainment, the company is still being called a Naver subsidiary by some people, which I don't want to get into that shit. But more importantly, did you know that Webtoon is talking to Boom Studios? I think that's an interesting conversation that we need to have. Did you guys know that Kakao has created an AI shorts product that they're going to be spreading? I want to show you that news. That's actually really important to get to. I said this before and I say it every time. Guys, they want the French. The companies want the French. I don't want the French. You don't want the French. Nobody likes French people. Who's French in the chat? See, not a French person in sight. So quite frankly, I don't know what the fuck we're running after. God, I lived in this country for too fucking long. I lived in this country for too fucking long. Everyone type French with a star where the E is. French people. Jesus Christ. No, I just did the like people head signal, and I'm not gonna lie, for like a hot second, my brain went, am I a Nazi? Like my brain fully just got like afraid of what I had just done. Holy shit. I don't think I'm ever gonna do that again. That was actually so scary. Anyway, so the French people that exist are the future of comics, apparently. Also, actually, and this is something I want you guys to prep your minds for as we get to this topic. It's going to come up, but I would really love to know what your understanding of tariffs are, and I would really love to know. This is the more important question: how you guys feel now that you've had a little bit of time reading some of those vertical conversions of comics that exist. Then we're also going to talk about global comics a little bit. We're going to talk about that. We're going to look at some things about global comics that I think are actually very interesting for the average comic creator, and I think people should start paying attention to in the wake of what's currently happening. And finally, we're going to talk about Crunchyroll, and then we're going to do questions. So please, again, if you have any questions about this stream, last stream, every news thing that's ever happened, please make sure you prep them for the end. See, I'm prompting you guys now. Prompting you guys. There's homework. There's homework for 2 hours from now where you need to have questions for me. Okay? That way we don't get to the end and everyone goes, what's the questions I've got? Shut the fuck up. Think about them. All right. Back to F. What the fuck? You know what? I don't even blame you. Anyway, let us begin at the beginning, as we often do, where we begin. Did you guys know, and I know this is such a controversial topic, but did you know that Naver is partnering with Boom Studios? If you don't know who Boom Studios are, they make the Power Rangers comics. I think that's the best thing to remember. Oh, they made Berserker. Remember that Keanu Reeves comic from a few years ago? They made that too, Berserker. And Boom made a bunch of other stuff. They're big, but I'm just trying to explain who they are to like a typical American comic person. Boom and is part of Webtoon's acceleration into the American comic space as they slowly gobble up what little bits of the industry is left after the implosion of Comixology, right? And continuing to acquire more and more and more digital readers of American comics into their space, which is quite an interesting thing because there's something I saw in the Comics Conversation channel in the Discord, courtesy of Ski Coke. Bless your heart, Ski Coke. Bless up. Kiko posted an image from Gail Simone. If you don't know who Gail Simone is, legendary comic person. Don't think too hard about it. But what is very valuable and interesting to read is that Gail Simone, in her little post, I think it's on Facebook. Yeah, it's on Facebook. She talks a lot about the fact that comic sales, physical comic sales, are up by a lot, and that digital is mostly flat, according to the people who work at the big five publishers, or at least three or so of the top five publishers. That physical sales are up massively, and digital sales are stagnant. Like you can see that right here. God, did I zoom in and then lose it immediately because I'm an idiot? Here, yeah. See, the different formats and variants and specialty items are growing in sales. Digital in a big way, while digital sales remain flat. Like if you see that right in the middle, that's right there. So she's talking about that. And I think that not only do I fully agree with her, because I've heard this when I was working in comics, I've heard this from one or two people as well, that on average, the physical sales are doing really well and the digital sales aren't performing well. I have this from firsthand experience. And I think it's important to talk about because there's this idea that the digital to physical conversion and back is like a two-way street when I don't believe it is. I actually personally don't believe it is. I think if you've been making physical comics your whole life and you're a physically published book, what you make is so geared to a community without you even realizing, right? This is basic market dynamics at play. When you make stuff, and this is a question to you guys as creators, when you make stuff, do you think about who's gonna read it in the end? Because I think everyone does, right? And because we all kind of do, or at the very least, because we make it for ourselves and we are a very specific type of person, very internet focused, very online kind of person as webcomic people, we kind of gear our content towards an audience that is very online. And you can see that it doesn't always translate, at least I don't see it always translate, for physical comics that were made for physical comic audience coming over to the digital space. They're not making as many sales. I'm not saying digital sales are going down, but digital sales for a lot of the publishers are flat. Working at Global Comics, and I can't say specific numbers, but those numbers don't go up really, really well, especially when you charge for your book. But here's the thing that is interesting about digital sales is that they're a longer term game, right? They're a longer term game. You play a game, you gain a massive audience, and then you cash out at a set time, right? You don't get to cash out forever, like constantly. You only get to cash out at fixed moments in big ways, which can make up for all the years of not having paid for anything. But you never get to cash out in like small little moments over time. And like Linda is saying that in chat, not surprised, people already have webcomics for free. Why do they need to buy digital? Exactly. But why would they ever buy digital? But here's the question, and maybe Linda can enlighten us to this, but why aren't the American comics industry especially, but also just generally the physical printers embracing digital as a method of free release, at least to some extent? It doesn't seem like they ever really want to. It always feels like a begrudging action. Like it's something that would literally fucking kill them if they did. And then you'll be like, oh, what are you going to release digitally? This book that I published 10 years ago and hasn't sold in the last 5 years, I can't release it digitally. It's going to kill me. It's going to bankrupt my company. That's how it feels when I talk to them. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I'm looking into it in a weird way. But mentally, that's how it feels when I talk to those people and how they view digital in this digital space. The only good thing about digital is that you don't have to spend money to print. Print money is a lot, though, is it? Or is it not? I mean, to be fair, production money is probably a similar amount, considering some of the numbers I've heard. I assume printing is like one of your major costs. Yeah, it is a lot. Yeah, it is a lot. It's like one of your major costs. Like it's a lot. So like it's gonna save you. Or do you mean production is a lot more? I'm assuming you mean production. Oh yeah, and distribution. Yeah, print and distribution. It's like a large amount of your cost, right? And like because that's a lot of your cost, like digital is saving you a lot of money. Why not make some concession? I know for the American comics, they've already printed and distributed them, so there's no cost savings really to be had in any meaningful way. But like as a first point of release, I'm surprised that is not something they do, to save money. And like I don't know why they don't even follow the online model of like limited free, like limited pay and then forever free, like the thing that Korean comics do. They make you pay if you want to read it in the next first week or the first month or the first year, but then after that it's free. I'm surprised they don't do that. Perhaps I don't understand something, which I wouldn't be surprised by. Anyway, Webtoon is continuing to make those relationships with American publishers because at the end of the day, Webtoon is a big, gaping maw of a company that is now selling its stock at about $16 and has been benefiting a lot from that Disney deal, right? And because Webtoon is this giant, gaping maw of a company, it just wants to acquire more readers. Losing readers last quarter wasn't particularly in their books, but they're trying to gain them all back. They're definitely looking for that 200 million monthly active user point number on their statistics at some point soon. And that's why they're partnering with people like Disney and Boom and every American comic company they can to basically swallow up their audiences digitally. And what's interesting for me is the comic that they chose to release first is this one. This is Something is Killing the Children. I'm going to zoom in. Something is Killing the Children is a massive boom comic that has been selling like hotcakes. It does really well, right? And it sells well in physical. Do you want to know something? I'm actually going to have to show you this. The first place I saw Something is Killing the Children digitally, and I know it was on Amazon, not Kindle. Why am I saying Kindle? I know it was on Comixology at one point. I believe it was on Comixology at one point. But the first place I saw Something is Killing the Children digitally in an easy to consume way was here on Global Comics. In fact, I think Global Comics is actually they might still have it. Do they not have it? Is their search broken? Oh, is this gone? No, it can't be gone. Is it gone? Wait a second. Maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe I'm dumb. Hold on, wait. Let's leave room for the fact that perhaps I am a fool. Hello, Slab. I think Global Comics doesn't have Something is Killing the Children anymore. That was like a big top book on the platform. Am I fucking nuts? Am I knucking futs? Like, what? No, I'm probably just losing. I'm probably making a mistake or something. Like, because Boom was a pretty big publisher on the platform when I was working there. But I guess not as much anymore. Yeah, I remember seeing Something is Killing the Children here. It could be both. But I remember, anyway, either way, Something is Killing the Children for the first time I saw it, like I saw it digitally here on Global Comics. Now it's going over to Webtoon, from what we can understand. And they're going to be releasing that graphic novel on their platform. Guys, that's a huge movement, right? Okay. The reason I'm talking about this this isn't to shit on anyone. It's just important to understand. Global Comics comes into the environment with a promise and a focus on American comics, right? That is their focus. That is their focus, whether they admit to it or not. Their main initial focus has been and has long-term been on American comics. Maybe that's going to divert over time. Doesn't matter, right? But that was a really big bet. American comics and big ticket people to publish content. That's expensive. That's a very expensive deal. Like, I'm not going to lie to you, right? One of the biggest reasons why companies love individual creators is that you guys are cheap as shit. And I don't say that with hatred in my heart. I say that with love. But you guys are cheap as hell. Guys, you're taking $20 a panel. If that, most of you aren't even taking that much money. I've seen creators come up to me and be like, I'm going to make a comic. How much should I charge? And then they're like, I could charge $5 a panel. And I'm like, is that for flats, colors, inks, everything? They're like, yeah. Oh, you guys are taking $5 a panel. Oh my God. Anyway, companies love creators because you take such a low cost, right? And that makes you easier to handle because you're more of a monolith. You think together and you cost less, right? I'm saying you because I would never sell my shit to anyone, right? But because it ain't worth shit. But like companies, when you're trying to work with companies on a comic deal, companies are expensive. They have multiple people on staff to pay, etc. And like they also just take everything as like a lift. At a company, you can't have like a casual activity that occurs. Everything's gotta be a lift. Everything's gotta cost a certain amount of money. Everything's gotta be a move. And so when you work with them, they're expensive. Like, for context of the difference between them, I'm gonna give you fake numbers, but I'm gonna base them off of real numbers I know and I have seen, just for you to understand the relative relationship. I have seen somebody agree to take like $1,000, right? For a total of about 10 comics. And all 10 are like at different levels of completion, but 10 comics in perpetuity to be published on a platform, right? And that was not Global Comics, that was somewhere else. But I've seen somebody take like $1,000 for 10 comics published on a platform, right? I've seen a company offer, and that creator promised to publish them themselves, get all those things uploaded, keep track, make sure to get their audience on there, make sure to promote the platform in question on there. All these things. I've seen them do that for $1,000, right? And then I've seen a corporation ask for, I relative it should work out to about 5x, so about $5,000 for about 30, 60 comics, all at different stages of completion, but with no promise to manage anything. No promise to even recommend their audience come to that platform. And that corporation, in fact, said, we will not be doing that. We will not be advertising it. That's a different deal that would cost a different amount of money. And that corporation regularly would take that $5,000. And the people who would organize, upload, and manage all of those comics was the platform. So the employees of the platform had to basically manage a different company's content, upload it to the platform, manage it, list it, rename it, renumber it, everything to make sure it fit the platform it was going on to. This is from a platform a few years ago, right? But I know what I'm telling you. I've seen those numbers. I've seen those numbers. Those are not the numbers. The numbers are different, but the relationship between the numbers and content was roughly the same. About 5x or about 3x content for about 3x the work internally, if not more, right? I've seen that situation already. And the reason I'm bringing that up as a point to the situation is that in the current space, Global Comics has been making those relationships, right? That's been Global Comics' thing for the last couple years. They've been making those relationships with corporations. They've been making those deals and dealing with that work. That's been what they've wanted to do. And Webtoon is coming in here, also dealing with that work, obviously. But Webtoon's coming in here after already setting themselves a really solid base by paying creators pennies and are now paying publishers good money. And if you want a reminder of how much the money is going to that publisher content, I want everyone to remember that this comic on Webtoon, if I can just open it. What was it called again? It starts with a V. Who remembers the DC comics that starts with a V? This is killing me. I remember the comic color and everything about it. I don't remember exactly what it was called. Vixen. No, it was Vixen. It was Vixen NYC. Can I borrow a vowel? Vixen. No, yes, this comic. This artist, specifically this artist, who I'm never going to stop holding this grudge. We're going to die and I'm going to hold this grudge forever because this artist came up to in my comments and tried to berate me about numbers that I had written in front of me in a contract that I had gotten from somebody who worked at Webtoon, right? Who was making comics at Webtoon. But whatever. This dumbass was making $4,000 for what I remember it was like 5 issues or 4 issues published of just line art. By their own admission, they were making about $4,000 for just line art because there was a DC Webtoon deal for line art of 4 episodes. I believe it was 4 or 5 episodes. Let's err on the side of caution and say 5. 5 episodes of line art was $4,000. Is 5 episodes of line art $4,000 anywhere? No, it was $4,000 for 5 episodes of line art. So that means if they said they typically did 5 episodes of line art per month. And Linda's saying that's standard at DC, and I think that's fair. And I'm not saying this person shouldn't get paid. What I'm saying is, Linda, you know what the Webtoon numbers are, girl. You know. Is it $4,000 for 5 episodes of line art? Let's even pretend like they're doing more than the panel count. Let's say they're doing 80 panels times 5, right? 80 panels times 5 is what? 400? So they're getting paid about $10 a panel for the line art. Like, let's pretend that's the worst case. But the reality, they were probably close to 60. It was in the contract, yeah, for sure. But like, it's not a significant up for the average person. Like, the average is a lot lower than that for just line art. No color, no anything. The average is a lot lower. Like, no colors, no nothing, no process, no whatever. The average for that is like not that much. Like, at least the average is from the ones I've seen, and I've seen a good number of them. And I know they're all different, but like, they're all not. Depends on where you're. No, they don't. I'm just meaning, like, if you broke down your pay, past colors, and you broke it all down and you tried to like price yourself per hour, it doesn't work out the same as what that person was getting paid. That person was getting paid really well. But just because it was a DC, the reason they were getting paid that much, Ligas, is because it was a DC Webtoon project. There's a lot of money in the game. DC's paying, Webtoon's paying. People are paying money. Like, money's actually in the game. That's just why. That's entirely why, right? But like, I'm so mad at that person for no reason. It doesn't matter. It was such a pointless, petty argument like 3 years ago. Yeah. No. No, you're right, Linda. It's right. You need to have colors for the Webtoon deal. You need to have colors for the Webtoon deal. 4K is pretty good, Eric. 4K is really, really good. Really, 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 really good. It's really good. Nothing's wrong with that pay. What I'm saying is that 4K is not what if you took it down to like just what assistants get paid on most webtoons. Let's even ignore the main creator. Assistants don't get paid that much anyway. Like on Webtoon, at least. I've never seen an assistant get paid that much money ever for 5 episodes. For 5 episodes, hell no. I've seen maybe a colorist get paid that much money because the colorists are hard to get. But like a line artist, hell, I've never seen a line artist get paid that much. Maybe I'm just tripping. Maybe I just know only people I know are the slave traders of the Webtoon space. But I've never seen it. I've never seen that ever in my life. Those numbers don't even make sense. But the point I'm getting with this is, the companies are costing them more money, and the Webtoon is willing to pay more money to acquire their audience because they're just trying to make those numbers go bigger. And they're taking and that's costing them in lots of different angles. And it's going to cost the companies they work with in lots of different angles. There's going to be a lot of money flowing into the space. And it seems like the biggest winner of this will be Webtoon and not people like Global Comics who foster these relationships early on in the game, right? They foster these relationships way earlier, and they're not going to make the same kind of bread. And I don't think that's right. Or does it even matter? No, it doesn't. Eric, how could you say that? AI does this for free? Yeah, 800 to 1,000 per episode is pretty standard. I've seen 1,200, but it's college and everything included. And even if you divided it evenly across every job, like, which it's not, but even if you divided it like if you said that it took an hour to do pencils, to do sketch, and then 3 hours to do line art, which I don't even know if it takes 3x the time. I wouldn't say 3x is like crazy, but some people have told me it takes them 3x the time. So I'll take that number. Like, even if you did like a bunch of statistics, like if you did a bunch of like relative value, it's not even close to the amount of money, right? It's not even close to the amount of money. So, oh, you weren't saying that as a good thing. Eric, what do you mean? AI is the future. Comedy creators don't get much, but it's because they post twice a week, from what I understand. But I think if you have a really good series, obviously the numbers go up, like a lot. Oh, that's like way too difficult to guess, Ponto. Lookism is a Korean series, and then as a Korean series, it comes through like so many different layers of bullshit. And also, I think they fully own it now. I think Studio N fully owns it to some extent, or like owns it to some extent. But like the amount of money it earns is not a straight line. And then it's not a straight line. It's not a straight line. It's not a thing I can just figure out. Like, I can say that it makes a lot of money, but it probably makes a lot of money because of a million different other reasons. Especially because in Korea, they're selling lookism as like stickers, right? And so when you talk about per episode, did that episode make a really good sticker that's getting sold, right? Like, that's also part of the amount of money that single episode made. So when you look at it like that, like their financial situation is way more complex. I would love to learn about it, but it just takes way too much time for me right now. I should put more time into it though. But my Korean is coming across good enough. I have a teacher now. I hired a teacher. I'm tired. I'm tired of doing Duolingo. Was a waste of my time. I hired a teacher. I had a Korean teacher so I can get good at Korean. Yeah, she's got like the most generic name ever, but I love her for it. She literally, and this is by her own words. She says she's like, I have the most generic name ever. Okay. All right. So that's all the stuff about Webtoon and Naver. And I will say Webtoon and Boom. And I will say, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I am really worried in a small way about what this means for like the way the young people who read comics are going to consume them, because they don't seem to be latching on to these Americanized comics as well as everything else. And I think it's supposed to attract the American comics audience, but there's not a lot of them. But they are a very monetarily rich audience. They do have a lot of spending money, and they do spend it on average. They're older on average, so they do have spending money. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to run out, but it'll be fun to see. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about Kakao. Hi, everyone. This is an article for Business Korea. Business Korea is talking about Kakao Entertainment. So Kakao Entertainment is the parent company of Tapas. Let's just make that clear. Kakao Entertainment is the entertainment division and parent company of Tapas. Parent division of Tapas over at Kakao. Right? They also own things like is it Picoma? They also own Kakao has its own comic service. They have a lot of different competing comic services under the Kakao Entertainment banner. And Kakao is now, Eric, Kakao is now offering, and I would love us all to read this together. Kakao Entertainment is now offering its official artificial intelligence shorts production technology, Helix Shorts, to creators for free. So I then proceeded to search, right, Helix Shorts, just to see if I could find it, right? I can't find anything about it. I can't find like the actual product. Like I have the Facebook post of it. Apparently it's available in Korea specifically, but the whole point is just to make AI generated webtoon. That's it. It allows you to make AI generated webtoons that you can post on Kakao page, which is like Twitter. Is that fair? Fair to say Kakao page is like Twitter? Like, I've used it once. No, it's not Twitter. It's that comic platform. My brain is just broken. Anyway, no, you can post it on their comic platform. Why did I say it's Twitter? I'm thinking of something else. You can post it on their comic platform. This is the third time they've tried to make an AI thing because they had something they called Helix Push. There's something they called Helix Curation, and so Helix Shorts is like a big move for them, right? The idea is you log in, and much like when you're on Webtoon, you see the shorts, the video shorts on the Webtoon app. You log into Kakao page, the comic page. I still don't know why I said Twitter. I'm thinking of something very different. Anyway, you log into Kakao page, the comic platform, and then right there you get like shorts, but they're made with AI. And they're saying basically like the idea is the efficiency that it brings. So the argument they make is something like Kakao, like the shorts used to cost about 2 million won, so that's about, divided by $2,000 to make, and take about 3 weeks to make. Now they make it in 3 hours, and it only cost them $60. That's how they're arguing it. The idea of Helix Shorts is that it understands images and emotion. And like, I understand why they're doing this. A lot of the companies like Webtoon are already talking about the fact that video is an additional avenue towards engagement and towards acquiring readers. And also another way of engaging with the comic. Yeah, the videos are basically ads, but also some of them are actually another way of engaging with the comic. So some of the videos are just the comic. The entire episodes of the comic voice acted, right? And so using an AI to do it does not feel like a crazy extension of what they would want to do. Kakao has been big on AI for a really long time. Unlike Naver, who has actually been a little bit more tentative and only had 1 or 2 AI things going on, Kakao is very big on AI, personally. Like openly and very, very personally big on AI. Fernie, hey, what's up? How you doing, man? How you doing? I don't know why I'm still upset at myself. Anyway, so the idea of Helix Shorts is that it will get your images, get your background music, do your storyline narration, do your screen composition, and then upload, and then basically upload your video onto the platform. Whenever you upload any Webtoon episodes to the Helix Short thing, it does all the analysis and tries to make your episode for you. Guys, were you going to use the AI video maker? Does everyone want to use the AI video maker so they can post AI shorts on YouTube and TikTok and any comic pages? I'm just curious. Guys, don't you understand that Helix Shorts is so efficient? It only costs $60. You just need to put your images and your work into an AI machine that I made. Trust me. I don't know, like, they're making a lot of bets on something that doesn't make money and is prohibitively expensive even to them. And I don't see the point. They argue that it's for domestic, sustainable growth, but largely, they actually edit your pictures into a TikTok video. Yeah, it does. That's all it does. I want to say this is actually very important to bring up. I've talked about this on the stream multiple times, but Kakao's big thing is that they were caught in a situation where they were abusing creators. That's what happened. They were caught in a situation where they were called out for abusing creators. Whether it's true or not is none of my fucking business. but they were called out for it, right? And they were like, oh yeah, we're actually going to join the consortium of comic companies so that we can treat creators better. And so they joined that consortium. And then ever since then, they've been like trying to find a way to basically cut costs because they realized that they cannot mistreat creators as much openly because it looked really bad and they got sued. So then they start, so what they always say when they make any AI product now is like, we think it's going to help creators achieve sustainable growth. Blah, blah, blah. They always say it like that. Ephemeris, I prefer my shittily made low effort short form videos made by man. No, I agree. No, I actually make comic dubs again. I actually really liked making comic dubs. The thing is, they'll probably look a lot like the ones we saw from Comic MP4 a few months ago. For my comic, I paid my colorist, who works as a video editor, to make a 20-second Instagram reel to promote our comic. How much did it cost you? A genuine question. How much did it cost you to pay your colorist for that? Yeah, I'm curious. I think when I made comic dubs, I think what the rate was at the time was really low because it's the comic industry and everyone underprices themselves. I think I paid $150 for it, but like that didn't include voice work because the voice work wanted to work for free because they were trying to get portfolio. But really, I should have charged. If they paid voice work, they were at the time they were charging. I'd probably paid $500 per episode for it. They multiplied by 1,000. That's about 500,000 won. It wouldn't have been like the most professionally made one, but it would have been pretty all right. I don't know. You paid $30? That's crazy. That's crazy low. But I guess you already paid them as a colorist, so they were probably just doing you a solid, which is very valid. I mean, look. At the end of the day, this is a general trend forward in the use of AI technology in the comic space, right? And we've seen this from everyone. Webtoon with their AI coloring tools, Cacao with every AI thing they've ever pushed or any NFT thing they've ever pushed. You know, it's a continual attempt to find ways to not pay us or not pay other artists. And the thing is, it always results in a mediocre product. I have never seen AI make a good thing. I don't say that to even be like an asshole. Actually, no. I've seen AI make one really, really good thing. In fact, I'm going to show you guys the really, really good thing right now. Right? I'm going to show you guys the best thing AI has ever made. This is made by the Sora deepfake. Oh, wait. Oh, this one too. What the fuck is this? And this is one of Sam Altman stealing GPUs at Target. These are the two greatest things AI has ever made. These are the only two good things AI has ever made. There. I've shown you the sum total of good AI content. Thank you. I hope you all feel very confident. That's all going to be you soon, apparently. This is your friendly and regular reminder to please delete your art from every platform that it's hosted on because it is being used to train AI models. And you should instead delete your art and then glaze your art and then post it from now on glazed. Please glaze it. Glaze in Nightshade if you can. Glaze in Nightshade as much as you can. Like, you need to do this for yourself. This is not right. It's not fun. You deserve better. I don't know if that's fair to say, but I think you deserve better. Like, I just think it's a really fucking stupid thing. Whatever. Anyway, before I even get to this, let's talk a little bit about. I do know AI is being used for accessibility, like glasses for the blind, describe personal surroundings. Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything wrong with the reality, and this is the important thing to recognize. Every technology can have value if used properly, right? But the problem is you need to remember who's using it and why. It's not like they're going around using AI for blind people on an everyday basis. The reason they made the Meta Ray-Ban glasses isn't to help blind people. They made the Meta Ray-Ban glasses because they wanted to collect facial recognition data. That's it. That's all they did it for, right? And the technology is only going to go as far as the people involved in it are going to allow it to. And so when you look into the situation about, like, you know, the way AI is being used for accessibility, you're like, yeah, this is really awesome. This is really great. Who's using it for accessibility? This really small research company found that it was useful. Okay, cool. When are we going to get a product for it? Never. or so far in the future that it's going to be meaningless. And like we're stuck with this shit. Fucking Sam Altman stealing GPUs from a Target. This is where we are. We used to be a society. We used to be a fucking society. The thing is, Eric, and this is the problem I have with the marketing part of this. Getting good at marketing is what makes you a better creator. Because when you get good at marketing, you actually get a lot better at making comics. People don't seem to understand it. They view marketing as this like negative aspect of the production pipeline. But like understanding what makes good marketing is part of understanding what attracts and maintains reader bases. Learning that skill is actually a deeply important thing that you should do, even if you hate it. And if you hate it, you need to explore that within yourself because it's probably affecting you in other negative ways. I say this every time, creators do not advertise themselves at all in any meaningful way, to the point where they don't even put in their own comics, this is where you can find me, this is where you can support me. Guys, this is not, why are you being a martyr? What does it do for you? Like, what does being a martyr do for you? This is not even me trying to be funny. Being a martyr does nothing for you at all. And so I just don't understand. You need to like get good a little bit, to be honest. I don't know if I'm being unreasonable, but I just feel like we're not taking the time to get good at this really valuable skill, right? And then we're spending our time worrying that like, that we're spending the time talking about how the skill is really annoying and finding ways to shortcut a skill that actually will help us in our creation journey and our ability in our production ability. Like it would just make us a much better creator. And it's and the lack of us understanding how to use that skill is negatively affecting us in significant ways. How many times have I opened a comic and a creator doesn't even put that they have a fucking social media at the bottom? I don't know. Maybe I'm being the dickhead here, but that's how I see it. I think the more immediate question is about making it more efficient and sustainable. But the thing is, it's not making it more efficient and sustainable because here's the problem. If the end user doesn't like the product, what's the point? Like, all the efficiency you can have is great, right? But like, if you're efficient and then you make an efficient product, like, if you take a shit efficiently, right? Is that somehow going to make people want your product more? Just be honest with me. Like let's talk about what it is, right? If you take a shit efficiently, are you making like is that going to attract more users, more readers, and more users? This is an important question because that's what you're doing. Because it's not like people are attracted to the thing that you're making on average. Very few AI videos get any traction, and you can see it. Sora's been out for weeks. How many AI videos have gotten traction? 4. All of them are jokes. Sam Altman stealing, skibbity toilet Sam Altman, Pikachu committing crime. Like, that's it. That's it. And nobody's even watching it where they make it. Like, it's so fucking insane. The more you meant like with the power hungry data centers, like, is it even efficient and sustainable? Yeah, it's not efficient and sustainable. Like, data centers are hollowing out small towns in the middle of America. The Rust Belt is literally losing like clean water in some places because of the amount of water and energy that these companies use. When they fucking show up, they drain so many resources that the average cost of energy and water and everything skyrockets. And the location becomes fucking gentrified to shit because it's just full of data center employees who are rich. And these people are like small towners who earn maybe $50,000 a month, a year on average. Like, it's just fucking hollowing out their towns. Like, it's efficient for no one. It's sustainable for no one. All it does is it doesn't help anyone. It's actually insane. Like, I don't know. I'm mad about this for a million reasons, but like, my biggest complaint is that like it doesn't help in any way. I guess I suppose I've had a bad experience with comic. This is from Eric, by the way. With comic creators trying to become social media influencers and end up falling into the shitty influencer behavior instead of their comic. I don't deny what you're saying. People do that. They do that a lot. They hyper focus on the social media part and they don't make stuff. But like, that's not the social media part's fault. Having no discipline is nobody's fault but your own. It sounds so fucking bad, but like, it is, right? Like, if you have no ability to stay focused and maintain your goals in your sight, you never really cared about your goals in the first place. And if you did, then you lack discipline and you lack like any sense of self-control. And maybe you need to fail, to realize that you're an idiot. Thinking about those twins. I don't know if anyone remembered. I know. Me Goggins moment, dude. Sitting here going like, you need to get your shit together. Every fucking day I wake up and I want to do some fucking shit. I tell myself. Does Glaze or Nightshade work for non-stable diffusion models? From what I understand, it seems to. Lucifer reduces stable diffusion, but most models are still diffusion models. As for the non-diffusion models, I have no idea if they're affected, but I haven't read the research on that part. And I'm just gonna admit that to you. Look it up. Look into it. Maybe you'll find something I don't know. I didn't look into the research because I didn't expect to talk about it today. Were those twins originally artists? Yeah, they were. I think they were artists. I think they were artists. How do you know who I'm talking about, Quantel? I guess it was such a specific moment in history that we're all kind of aware of. I don't know. Does everyone know what twins I'm talking about? Does everyone know the twins I'm talking about? Am I nuts? Am I just like alone in my bullshit? I feel like one or two people in chat definitely know, but I don't know everyone. I don't think Sam knows. Sam does not know for sure the twins. He's a man with no culture. The Webtoon twins, who they once said, if your comic doesn't get 5,000 subscribers in the first, I don't know, was it 2 months or something, cancel it and make a new one. And they spent a lot of time like tweeting at Webtoon. I forget their specific name. It was like, it started with an S, I believe. Something like that. I don't know if you remember who I'm talking about. Okay, different twins, cool. Okay, cool. No one knows. It's just me, Quanto, who I guess maybe knows, and like two people in chat. I'm literally talking about people that don't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. They're not real people. Anyway, can we talk about the tariffs? Everyone, welcome. I move on to the tariffs, and then you mention to me, I remember them. I'm glad someone does, because I almost forgotten about them until that one moment. But where was I? Everybody! In big America news is happening, everybody. US-China tariff war is back. We're back to April 2025. The Earth time is a flat circle. Fuck you. Welcome to the future of your rest of your lives. We're back to another trade war, and trade wars matter. Trade wars always matter. In the last trade war, I can't find the document, but I think I did show it on stream. I talked about the fact that like books were getting tariffed, but not as much as everything else. Well, we're back. There's more tariffs. They're trying to do 100% tariff, 1,000,000,000% tariff. 1,000,000,000,000% tariff. I'm gonna tariff your mom, okay? That's what we come here for. That's why we believe in this country. We're free forever. USA, 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 I feel bad because I remember the fact that Linda's husband can hear everything I say. So he's just sitting there being like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Which honestly, fair enough. Hi, Stepan. Anyway, we're back to the tariff. But hey, stop being tired, Requiem. Wake the fuck up, Samurai. This is important. You need to understand that the sovereignty of the United States is important to fucking up the rest of my life. Oh, I thought there was a time when you didn't have headphones. I thought he could hear me. Okay, well, good. I'm glad he can't hear my bullshit. I'm safe. Every day I'm safe. Oh, great. He's streaming. Wait, we should go watch him stream in a second. But first, tariffs. Why does this matter? And I actually need to bring this up again. Guys, you know where we're going? We're going to the whiteboard. I wish somebody made paint online that I could use. Like an actual paint. Oh, this is pretty good. Okay. All right. I don't like this one actually anymore. I'm going back to the other one. All right, gang. Let's do what we're here to do. Let's have a conversation. Right? So let's talk a little bit about tariffs. Again, one last time. I'm not going to explain tariffs to you, but I'm going to explain why it matters when the US tariffs thing, right? So the United States is what we call a mass importer. Basically, America imports so much shit, right? That they have been able to set what we call the dollar standard. Okay? What the dollar standard means is that, I mean, not the dollar standard, not the term, but the point I'm trying to make to get here is that, like, because America buys so much shit from everyone, America goes to, like, us here in the UK, and they buy shit from us, and they give us dollars for it, and they go over to France, those cheese-eating surrender monkeys, and they buy stuff from them, and they give them dollars for it. It means that the dollars become the global currency, right? And that matters for a certain particular reason here. When America sets tariffs on trade, they affect the value of the dollar, which affects generally all of us and our own currencies, our own trade. But also, and more importantly, when America sets tariffs, America, by the nature of being such a massive importer, is also the first point of call for a lot of product. So if I'm Joe Schmo, right, and I'm making cakes shaped like legs, right, cake legs, before I go to any other country to sell it, on average, I will probably go to the US to sell it first. And then after I go to the US, I will probably even ship my product from the US to any other country that's interested in cake legs, right? So when America enters into a trade war, not only do they fuck up the value of the money that our countries hold as the main currency that they trade in, right, which affects our own individual value of currency and how much it costs for us to buy shit, right? It also affects us in a different way, which is we get less access to product. Things get more expensive to acquire because America has such strong and reliable and consistent trade routes where lots and lots of products move, right? And most countries don't because we rely on the United States. We rely on other countries or the United States to either acquire that product and send it over to us or acquire the product and send it over to the nearest trading partner to us, right? Like, for example, I live in the UK. Almost everything that is important to this country goes to Rotterdam in the Netherlands. Is Rotterdam in the Netherlands? Yeah, the Netherlands, right? And then it goes to everywhere else in Europe, and then it comes to here. That's how most things get into Europe, right? And a lot of those products often take a detour through the United States and then come to us. They'll basically send 100 million of the thing through the United States. America will take 80 million of the thing, and then the rest of us will get 20 million of the thing because we are such a low-level consumer relative to the United States, right? And so when America wages these trade wars, they fuck up very established trade routes and ways for us to get our products. And what that does is that our books, our comics that we buy, most of them are basically worked on in China, right? And then they go over to the US, they're sold there, which is the main place where we really sell we sell comic books. Really, the main consumers are still Americans. And then, they deliver some of the rest of it over to the rest of us, right? Then we get our comic books for a slightly increased price, but not a significantly increased one, right? But we don't have any direct trade routes here. And while we do have printers here in the UK, Europe in general, they're not as many or as cheap as printing in China or printing in the US. For context, printing in China costs very, very little. Like, I think it's what, $4 a book, even on like low volume? $4 to $6 a book on low volume for, like, let's just say a standard square bound book about I'm just going to pick one of my books behind me. Let's call this A5. I think this is an A5 size book, right? It's about an A5 size book, or maybe a B5. I think it's a B5. Let's call it a B5 size book, square bound, 100 pages, in color, not gloss, about $6 from what I remember the last time I looked at something like that. About $6 per. If you order like what, 100 to 200 copies, works out to about that much. For context, getting books printed here in the UK is actually significantly more expensive. I know the guy who prints, even the guy I know who prints in the UK, he just makes an order to China and then gets them delivered. He just knows the paper types and knows what to expect and has links to people that can easily get the job done in a reasonable time span because he's a reliable guy. He does print locally too in the UK, but even he orders some stuff from China, right? And so, oh yeah, Print Ninja exists too. That's also another one. And so the US-China trade is actually going to fuck up a lot of things for us. I think the other thing that it also affects, everybody orders from China now. You're not wrong, Linda. China, I think Taiwan, and I think Japan, but mostly China. Almost every major player is going to China. One of the reasons one of the things that we're working on for the collective, one of the things that really has been important to me is that I think that comic creators need a different way of accessing comics cheap. And so I've been looking into Estonia as a location for that because the paper costs are also really low, like they are in places like Taiwan and China, where paper costs are at the bottom of the ground, right? So that's something to consider. But right now there's no established comic people there. There's established comic people in China. They know all the paper types, they know all the effects. They can make everything you want. They can print it and deliver you a beautiful book in days. In days, like in some of the pre-projects that are days long. And for a big company, that's what they need. And so when the United States and China get into this bullshit, right? Not only does it affect big publishers, it affects people who need to get their tchotchkes, like the artist alley people, right? It affects people who need to print their limited run books. It affects people who need to get their t-shirts. Just if you want to sell t-shirts. If you're a small time creator trying to make money, this trade deal could fuck you. Like Print Ninja mostly prints in China. Thank you, Radar, for that insightful piece of information. I didn't know this. Print Ninja mostly prints in China. So really, at the end of the day, this could fuck us. Now, I will say this: the last trade war, when it happened in April, one of the things that did get exempt partway through were books. Books got an exemption from the trade war. They actually got an exemption from most of the trade tariffs. I think they were still hit by the 10%, but not by the other 134% or whatever. But we're back here again. We're back to a trade war. We're back to fighting. We're back to beef. And there's a real chance that we get forgotten about because we're not silicon. We're not the big people making money. We're books. We don't matter. Like, we really don't. In the grand scheme of the industry, we are the lowest value entertainment medium, I think. Are we? Yeah, I think we are. We're like the least, we're the cheapest and the lowest value. Because games are like insanely expensive and movies are insanely expensive and comics are like pretty cheap. This is all relative, to be clear. So we're not a big enough industry where I think we have the kind of push-pull to affect the policy. But Marvel might. Marvel and DC are big enough. They might if they care. But if they're focused on digital right now, which is what they are, they focus on digital with Webtoon, there's a real chance that they will probably not. Mixim in the UK is still compared to printing in China for low quantities. Yeah, it is. Mixim is pretty good. The guy I was talking about earlier, he does have his own printing here. I'm just going to put his stuff here. This is my guy in the UK. Love him. He prints really well. He's really good to work with. And he's very, 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 he has like all this lovely advice for first-time printers and what to know and all sorts of stuff. But also, when you want to print something, you actually just talk. There's no like magic template that he works off of. You can just talk to him and like send him a message and really just speak. His name is Rich. He's a really nice guy. And he has a team. He's pretty good. Marvel and Disney, I mean Warner Brothers and Disney. Yeah, that's Marvel and Disney, I mean Warner Brothers and Disney. Yeah, I mean Warner Brothers and Disney. Warner Brothers and Disney might talk to them. I mean, they do care about that publishing side. They do. Like, look, say what I want to say about Warner Brothers and Disney. They care because squeezing every last drop of revenue out of the universe is the goal of every company, and they're really good at that. Warner Brothers and Disney have always been really good at that. But yeah, this is why I brought up the trade war. Now, I think my question to you guys, and this is where my question I told you to think about from earlier is like, who's printing right now? This is a serious question. Who's printing, or who's thinking about printing, or who was about to do a print run, or working on a comic they're about to print maybe this winter, right? Who thinks printing is a viable way of making revenue for themselves in the current state that they are in as a creator? And this is for people in the comments too when this goes to VOD. And then the final question is like, did you even realize that this was going to happen? Does it bother you? Are there things you're going to do faster or sooner now that you know this is coming up? Are you going to scramble? Thoughts? Also, Django, you can print just if you print before the trade war kicks in. And also, in fact, I'm going to show you something. This is like good global comics news. I'm going to show you this. Because I'm not a jackass. That much, at least. Does this appeal to you? Now, Comics Wellspring is still doing their global comics print on demand. And they're printing square printed books and saddle stitch comics. And Global Comics is giving you a 10% off promo code on print. Does this now appeal to you? Would you publish your comics on Global Comics or just come to here and take advantage of this tool, of this method of getting your printed book? From what I understand, it works now. Maybe I'm wrong, but from what I understand, it works. Let's see, 25 units, saddle stitch, full color, 289. Yeah, for the saddle stitch. Yeah, let me see what the square. Yeah, there they are. The square bounce. 25 units, 675. Buy in bulk and save. At these sizes, traditional Japanese manga size. Oh, you guys can't see that pop up. There's a pop up here that shows that they have traditional Japanese manga size 5 by 7.5, 6.625 by 10.25 CWS standard, and a CWS magazine, full color. Let's say 100 interior pages. Let's say 100 interior pages. 1015 for 100 interior pages, full color, or in black and white, 769. They do ship. I believe they ship to you or to your readers. I believe they just ship to you. I'm not sure. They might just ship to you. Yeah, they might just ship to you, and you can just order a set to yourself. You can order, and of course, the more in bulk you order, there's no evidence that they are exempt from the new tariffs radar. That's why I'm bringing it up, because they haven't mentioned them. There's no list of exempt and non-exempt that exists, and the new tariffs are mostly just flagging by the two leaders. No one's done anything yet, but they're trying to do it. They're coming back to this conversation, this argument, which is why I'm even bringing it up in the first place. I think it's important to think about early on, right? Did they not reduce the price significantly for 500 copies? No, it's still 1015 for 500. Am I insane? Maybe it was usually like when I add on cart. Add to cart. Am I missing? Oh yeah. $3,000 for 500 copies of this at $792. Oh, yeah, they dropped to a full color 500 copies comes out to $792 here. So that's something to think about. Does this appeal to you more now? They may not ship to the reader. They might ship to a warehouse, or they might hold in a warehouse until you get readers, but you pay for it. You can contact them and have conversations with them about that. So that is the thing that you can do. I don't know. Some news, but I was like, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. This was in some kind of beta, but it seems like you can now buy it. About 3,900 for 501 books. Let's look at what it's like for 100 books. 100. This is all assuming 100 interior pages and 4 cover pages. By the way, anything else you have to email or call them. Let's say I'm ordering 100 books. So 100 books full color. Oh wait. I need to go to my thing and give you my cart. I need to make that more like 100 books. So then when it's 100 books, they sell at about $8 for 100 interior pages, square bound book. So that's actually a little bit higher. But yeah, those are your options. I think these are all gloss interior, I believe. So that might be something you consider. But yeah, I'm just bringing this up like this. What does this help you? Yeah, 100%. You need a Kickstarter in front of this. I mean, $1,000 for 100 books is not like off standard. Not like, yeah, but it doesn't. But you need a Kickstarter for this to even make sense to you, like to even start looking into it, or at least for a small run. I mean, like, this is the time to do it before the tariffs go up, before anything gets affected in your pricing. Everyone's locked in their pricing for at least the next couple dozen runs of prints. Are you going to go faster? Who actually is printing here? I know that Django and Quanto are thinking about it, but who else is actually printing? Oh, you're doing a test print and mix them. Oh, make sure I get a copy, Django. I'd love to get a copy. Let me know. I'll pay for it. But yeah, like this just feels really like this just feels like a very inopportune time for us to be having a trade war. And is there ever an opportune time for a trade war? Probably not. But it feels like a very inopportune time for a trade war. I mean, Linda did just do. Hold on, wait. Reminded me, I bought Linda's book. Hold on, wait. Let me just check. Let me see when it's coming. Linda, I bought your book months ago. I completely forgot, and I pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered. Was it in March? I pre-ordered it. I swear to God. Did I not get it already? I think I've just not gotten it. It just dawned on me that I pre-ordered the book. I don't. No. It's December. Okay, we're good. It's December. It's December. That's when I get my book. It's December. Oh. No, yeah, no, I know it's not that, but I think my brain just started being afraid. I thought it was shipping in October for some reason. Australia and New Zealand only with Artist Alley sales. Under old school 24-page floppies with limited foil covers. I mean, they do floppies. Let's look. These Wellspring guys do floppies. No, not the Kickstarter. Not the Kickstarter. No. Yeah. That one's done. I just bought your book from the thing. So this is their floppy option. Basic saddle stitch, full color. Let's say, Sam, you're ordering 100 copies, and let's say you have like a pretty standard gloss cover. Um, you can also get it as self cover, printed on the same paper as the interior. And let's say you have standard. I think standard. My floppy standard out about 28, 30 pages. Let's say 20. Let's say 32 pages interior or cover pages, right? And you're doing it as CWS standard, so not manga size, etc. That's done. Let's add that to cart. Let's see how much it costs per unit. Well, I forgot to click. So per unit at 100 copies, it costs about $3.48 full color. Not bad. I feel like it should be more like two, but 348 is where we're at right now. So, yeah. Hey, Kiki, what's good, gamer? So that's the pricing right now. That's the environment that we're in right now, and like that's what the trade war has wrought on our environment for us to be thinking about. I like to bring it up because I think it's important that you guys think about what you're going to do about your print run. How's it going to affect your pricing and your margin? Some of you have already printed your books or have already made agreements with your printers at certain values and have not shipped off your books yet, right? If the tariff is high, this is going to affect you because the tariff happens whether you've agreed on prices or not, right? It's going to hit the border, whether it's coming to you or to your readers, and hit the border, and someone's going to ask to pay for the tariff. It's going to be you paying for that tariff. So have you accounted for that in your final amount? Right? Do you have enough headroom to absorb a tariff payment if it hits you? This is an important question. That's all. That's all I wanted you to think about. The thing is, whether you use Kickstarter or not, the tariffs are going to hit us one way or another. But I hear you. I hear you. Um, the thing is, if you ship it from a local printer, like from a printer you're working with directly, I think you still have to eat the tariff because they'll know. They'll know that these books are coming in and they're all coming from one person. They're going to find you, make you eat the tariff. I don't know. I wonder. Maybe the volume won't be enough to trigger anything, but I wonder. Genuinely, I don't know because the enforcement of everything under the Trump administration has been pretty inconsistent. And this isn't about politics. This is just about what's being done. It's been pretty inconsistent. And so what bothers me is that they might start targeting small time sellers. Um, if you print in the US, you won't hit a tariff. But if you print outside the US, you will. And it ships into the US, you will. Like you will. And the thing is, because it's going to affect the US, it's likely going to affect us over here in Europe to a decent extent. Hardcovers cost way much more, and hardcover books were affected by the tariffs in the last one, even though softcover books were not affected by the tariff. So, I don't know. Mixing my own ink so I can print my own books with my RGB printer I built myself. You know what? Fuck it. Guys, everybody go out there and buy yourself an HP printer. We're going to print our comics at home. Like real men. Like real people. We're going to print our comics at home. We're going to bind at home. Let's fucking go. Oh, I'm going to fucking cry. Whatever. I feel like I laugh and then I cry, and then you guys have to like deal with that fucking deal with the fucking whiplash of me losing my mind and the fact that it's not going well. We are totally not back gamers. I did book binding in college. What the fuck did you do? My book was ugly. Linda, Linda, you don't understand. Even if it passes, I'm still gonna get a fucking aneurysm. I'm still gonna get a fucking aneurysm, right? Like, oh, whatever. I was a graphic design major is the worst thing you could have said. Django, to the gulag with you. Away. Graphic design majors are not welcome. I'm joking. I don't give a shit. I wish graphic design was my passion, but it's not. I switched out of the major. No, I was joking. Go back to the major. Go back. Do it for me. You're gonna do so well. Go back to college and redo the major again because I liked money too much. The engineer has arrived. Oh, really small thing. Really small thing. Crunchyroll adds streaming manga to their platform. Crunchyroll's added streaming manga to their platform. Doesn't matter, but yeah, that's all. Anyway, yeah, no, I have a brother. I'm getting a brother printer. I don't have one. I'm getting one. I have an HP printer right now. I'm actually replacing it with a brother printer because I'm so done with this shit. I'm actually so done with this shit. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this. I can't pay one. I can't keep paying subscription. Like that's no. What the fuck is this button? What is this? Do you guys see that button? The Google button? I've literally never seen this in my life. Is this from the AI? Is this from the Google AI? Oh my God. I'm so fucking done. Oh yeah, Crunchyroll is partnering with an Israeli AI company to do AI subs. I love it. Don't pay subtitle writers to actually make better subs. Instead, pay an AI company to pay shitty people. What is Bleeding Cool? Bleeding Cool is obviously the best thing to call them is that they are a gossip columnist for comics. But I think they're pretty accurate. Rich Johnston, the lead writer of Bleeding Cool, is a pretty accurate guy. Got good connections, smart guy, very careful about what he publishes. On average, I think he's right. You know, a lot of people don't like him because he says things that they don't like, but the numbers are never, and the numbers can be wrong, but the intention and the behavior that he talks about is usually pretty correct. So yeah. Uh, a sub on Crunchyroll said Chad GPT says, dude, what the fuck? I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Anyway, let's get to the last bit of good news, and then we're done. I can go and cry in my office. Wait, I'm already in my office. Go and cry in my bed and eat a sandwich. But actually, before I go cry in my bed and eat a sandwich, one second, I need to get a link. I need to get a link. Give me like 1 second. I need to get a link. Oh my god. Okay. Reminder that my comic contest is still coming. I'm gonna give you a date as soon as I possibly can, but it is still coming. We are having the comic contest is happening. Comic Jam is happening. This year's theme is online. Prep yourself mentally, physically, emotionally. The website will be live. It was supposed to be live last week, but things broke. I don't know. It'll be live soon. It'll be live soon. TM. I'll tweet about it. Please support me on Twitter. Okay, bye. Back to the rest of the stream. I was gonna show something, but honestly, it's not worth showing right now. Let's do the last story of the week, guys. Oh wait, I forgot about this. I forgot about the Web3 shit. Anyway, a Naver chairman came back recently, and he thinks the future is Web3 and France. This is actually a really annoying thing to say, but this is Lee Haejin. Lee Haejin. This is California, by the way. He's doing this at a Naver Ventures networking event. And he's talking about how the future in the AI era isn't just getting into the AI, but looking at how to use Web3 commerce as a way to make revenue. The thing is, okay, I'm just gonna make. I'll get to the French part in a second, but I'm just gonna make a really clear statement as to why I don't like Web3, and I'm gonna show you guys. If you're like, what's Web3? Then Web3 is just the generic name for things like crypto, um, and like the blockchain. That's what Web3 is. Okay. The reason I don't like Web3 isn't some misguided misunderstanding of this feature. I just want to tell you guys something. I'm going to talk about Bitcoin to make this make sense. Okay, and just trust me on this; it'll make sense. So you guys know basic stock knowledge and stuff, right? There's this stock, this index called the S&P 500. If you don't know what the S&P 500 is, it's the top 500 companies in the stock market, all bundled up into a thing that you can bet on. Say that all of them on average will go up. That's what you're betting on. All of them on average, their value will go up. Okay, that's all you're betting on with the S&P 500, right? S&P 500 is a normal stock. It's existed for years and years and years. You can buy into it. It's actually a pretty safe bet. And most of your retirement funds and 401ks and whatever are all put mostly into things like this. Okay, it's actually an auto buy for a lot of trading companies. Now, the S&P 500 for the last 5 years has looked like this. Okay? Bitcoin for the last 5 years has looked like this. Okay? The reason I don't like the Web3 environment is that Bitcoin and the S&P 500 look really similar because people just buy Bitcoin when there's more money in the stock market overall. And it's just rich people buying more Bitcoin when there's more money in the stock market overall. Bitcoin has no actual value, and most Web3 things have no actual value because all of it is just people buying money when there's stuff available. That means when this crashes, guess what's going to fucking happen over here? This is going to crash too. And yes, there was a crash with Bitcoin recently. There was a crash, but it wasn't significant because it was about the same amount of a crash as the S&P 500 had today. Nothing really happened. Okay? And so the reason I don't like Web3 is that none of this money is real. Not all this money is based on the availability of revenue to rich investors, right? That's what drives Web3. Web3 is not being accessed by the average person. There are no products in what we call Web3 or crypto or NFTs, any of this shit. There are no products. There are no products. And I know you guys know this, but I just want to say it in like a concrete way because I feel like a lot of artists get told Web3 bad, and then they see Web3 and they're like, oh, monkey JPEGs, haha, funny. But you need to understand that it's bad in almost every avenue. It's bad in the avenue that it was made to make people money in. It's bad. And all Web3 has done is enrich establishment billionaires. I'm not actually joking. In fact, one of the richest people from Web3 is Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is a white nationalist. Okay? He's a self-admitted white nationalist who likes crypto because he wants to get rid of Jewish people. He's insane. Okay? He's one of the biggest benefiters of fucking Web3. And Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street guy, who is a scam artist. So, when idiots like this fuckwit say this, when they talk about Web3, what they mean is, I don't have enough methods of exploiting revenue out of people. And so, I wish to find another way to do so in an era when the average low-level consumer does not have enough disposable income to enrich me. That's what bothers me here. That's what he's been saying, and that's what he's talking about, right? And he's talking about that for Naver and its AI research development platform. My Garmin watch just started buzzing with abnormal heart rate detector as soon as you started cutting very Bitcoin to the S&P. Sam, you know exactly what my point was there. Don't you even dare. Don't you dare. Because you know exactly what my point was there, and you know that I'm not wrong. You know I'm not wrong. It basically tracks it 1-to-1. You know I'm not wrong. Or maybe I just triggered everything from when he worked as a trader. Which honestly, okay, for that I'm sorry. If I triggered all of your PTSD, I'm sorry. Like if I did do that, that's my bad. My B. I hope you could forgive me for that. Hope you can forgive me for that and let it go. God. We got him. We got him, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. Okay. I'm trying to find my specific article about France, the final frontier, but like it was connected to this article. I think I clicked on the wrong article. But I should point out that thing that the Naver exec said, because that is the thing that Naver is focusing on more and more and more in the future, because the revenue is slipping. Revenue is slipping. And like that's just the truth. The revenue is slipping all across the board. Oh, wait, I forgot to say this. No, I have already said. Okay, cool. Then we're good. I'm trying to find where I had my French article, but my French article is just gone. Is my French article just gone? My thing on France, is it just gone? Is it just gone? It's gone. I've lost my article on France. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What matters is this. Not only does this Naver thing happen, I should also point out that like Webtoon is investing more and more in France. Actually, a lot of companies are investing more and more in France and comics. But unfortunately, I lost my article on France because I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. I do this on Sunday night. I make mistakes. Forgive me. Let it go. But I did give you a nice news about Naver and AI and Bitcoin. I hope you guys can read these articles. I should try linking these more often, but I'm too lazy for that. Anyway, that's kind of where we're at. Oh, and Everdate works now. For anyone who remembers from like the other day, Everdate works now. Everdate works again. Oh, wait. Fuck, I found it. I found my French article. I found my French article. Yeah. I found it. Oh my God. Okay. So, the reason I was bringing this up, I wanted to bring up the French thing, is here. I found my article. Here. The French. Seoul-based Kedari Studio has bought a 2.9% stake in Teletoon, a French webtoon firm, for $2 million. Guys, they're spending money in France again. In fact, people are looking at France as the next location for which webtoons are going to become big, because France has a massive comic audience. We already know this. And they've been trying to penetrate the audience with digital comics for a really long time. But digital comics are not doing well in France for a variety of reasons, mostly because they are a very physical readership audience. However, we're trying again. In fact, we're trying again with Korean studios pushing themselves into the market, especially after a conversation that was had on a panel during the Egyptian Korean culture event that I talked about last stream. Somebody mentioned investing more in France is a new direction, and now there are more people trying to invest in France in general. Like it's coming up. Kidari Studio is spending money in France, and not only Kidari Studio. I think in the research that I went into, you've got Legend France still doing pretty well, right? Because Legend France exists, because I talked about it in the stream, was made from what do you call it, Le Bon Tune, and another one turning into Legend France. And Webtoon France is there, which is still doing all right. And then there's a new platform called O&O, which is hosting like solo leveling and like shit like that, and then some Chinese comics that look really big in China. When you see all of that stuff together, right? And you realize that French establishment publishers are also trying to buy stakes in these digital companies. And outside investors are trying to also invest in these digital companies in France. It's clear that people think that France is the next market to exploit, where they can make the most money. But it doesn't help that one of the biggest productions of comics in the France on digital space, or is one of the most famous, is Flagcat, the AI coloring people. So, there's that to think about too. Yeah, that's my France news. It was lost, but it is found. I got my France news out. Yay! Also, it was a 20% stake, not like 2.9%. I'm an idiot. Anyway, back to what I was trying to say. I got Everdate working. You guys want to play Everdate? Can we play Everdate on stream? I'm saying, can we? Like, as if I can't just do it myself. But I'm trying to ask, like, will chat want to watch me playing Everdate? my God, guys, it's here. It's here. Everday. I just want to show you guys what it looks like. I'm not gonna play a full game, but I need to just show people what it looks like because otherwise I'm gonna lose my mind. I just need to I need other people to see what it looks like. Okay, it's really loud, I'm sorry. Hi, I'm Sam. This is Everday, everybody. We're supposed to play this last week, but we didn't get to. Oh God, there's another bug. There's another bug. It's not letting me play the game. Oh my God, it's bugged. It's broken. It's actually Jover. What the fuck? Oh my God, it's actually so bugged. Also, it wouldn't let me alt F4 out of the game. Everday, no! Okay, let's try this one more time. Let's try this one more time. I just want people to see it. I want to see it because I'm actually very invested in seeing what Everday looks like. It's punishing my hubris. It's punishing my hubris, actually, yeah. No, it's entirely my fault. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. It's my fault, and I'm going to apologize by doing my capture this way. Always online launcher, everyone. All right. Oh my God! Everdate! I'm Sam. I'm here to guide you through your dating adventure. Let's kick things off. Create a new profile. Oh, so I can't just go to settings. I have to make a new profile? Okay. I can play as any of the characters. Let's see, who can we play as? Oh. It won't let me select anyone. So I guess I gotta select Sam. All right. No, the arrow keys didn't work. I tried them. All right, this is my game with Sam. Let's go back to the menu. Okay, the settings. This is all the sound settings, full screen. There's a free play setting, but let's see. Let's continue the game. I just want to see what this game looks like at the start. I just want to see what it looks like. I'm actually so invested in this being good. Okay, so it's the beginning of a day. Have I Okay, there are people. There are locations. Let's go to, this is my home. Everyone is now here at the nightclub. I'm gonna go to the nightclub. Let's talk to martial law. We picked him. He's our date. Anyone, I just want to talk to anyone. Oh, we're in! We're in! Let's go, martial law! Hi, how are you? Well, hello there. Okay, let's get to know Marshall. Well, hello there. What's your favorite holiday? What is this fucking question? You go on a date and your date asks you, what is your favorite holiday? Are we kidding? Okay, whatever. Halloween. It's like everyone wants to get a free pass to be as goofy or as spooky as they want. And let's be real, who doesn't love a good excuse to dress up and score some free candy? Halloween is a great choice. It's a day where creativity comes alive. And no one talks like this. I'm sorry. Does Sam talk like this? We watch the anime. He doesn't talk like this in the anime. Plus, it's kind of fun to see all the unique costumes and effort people put into them. A giant canvas of imagination. I mean, with your game design skills, I bet you could whip up some pretty epic costume. Let me see if you could bring one of your game characters to life. That would be a sight to see. Okay? So we've done the dating. I could begin story. Oh. There's a story about how I meet him? Wait. There's a little, when you click begin story, you can begin a story about how you meet him. This is in her head. This is in her head. I wasn't planning to talk to him today, not with how jittery I feel. But he's got this aura that just pulls you in. There he is, laughing and just shining. And suddenly I want to be a part of that light. I don't even, okay. That's a lot of text. There's a lot of text. I'm personally, I get that's a visual novel thing, but I play a lot of visual novels, never feels like that. Since when is bro growing a little beard? Honestly, yeah. Okay, let's look at the decks. The decks are a thing. The game lags a lot when I click on something. But that's just, it's in beta, so whatever. This is my deck. These are my character cards. These are the cards in my deck. Like, let's look at them. Like, express affection. Debate playfully. Okay. Yeah, this is a deck builder game, by the way. All right, that's all I wanted to look at. I mean, I'm glad it launches. We don't get to play this, though. We're not playing this today. No deck builder for you. No deck builder for you, everyone. No gamer time. We're back to work. Okay. All right. That's everything we wanted to get over today. I've shown you the deck builder. I've shown you all the stuff. Let's talk what the questions the chat has. What are the questions that we all have, guys? How do you feel about everything that I've talked about today? You know, do you feel safe and joyful and full of peace in your heart? Or are you afraid like I am? Because I'm afraid. I don't know about you, but I'm afraid. Any questions anyone has for me about today's stream? Any questions that anyone wants to get to? Who is doing well today? I don't have Sim to ask me how I am today, which is actually very sad. I didn't realize how much I would miss that. I haven't felt joyful since January 1st, 2025. Wait. What about when you played Veilguard? Veilguard was a pretty good day for you. My heart is full of turmoil. Oh, that's fair. All of our hearts are full of turmoil. That's the heart. The heart wants what the heart wants. Oh, that was 2024. I'm sorry, I forgot. Not since Veilguard. Look, I think we'll be fine. As Linda said, this too shall pass. But we don't need to give up, right? You know what, guys? I think I know what we all need. I know exactly what we all need, and it's going to actually make us all feel really, really good, feel really, really happy. Okay? I think we have exactly what's going to help fix all of us. All right? Hold on, wait. I want the one with the white guy. I know exactly what's going to make us It's not Jover. It's not Jover. Remember, guys, you are the sun. Oh, there, whatever. Watch this one. Think of all the people cheering you on, everyone. You're almost there. Look at me. It's -10 and I'm harvesting Asiatic clams. You have to just try. I'm cheering you on. I'm always cheering you on. Oh, wait, you guys can't get the audio. I forgot to turn on the audio for the thing. I was using Chrome, not Firefox. I forgot to switch. I forgot to switch from Chrome to Firefox. Where's the one with the white guy? Never give up. White guy. Oh, there he is. Ah, perfect. This is what I'm here for. I love this clip so much. Never give up. I feel so much better. Okay. Yeah, we're good now. We're all fine. Why is my Japanese crab fisherman being whitewashed? Because the white guy one is in widescreen. That's why I gave you the white guy version. I'm not sorry for that. I did the right thing. I did the right thing for this community. I too like clam. That's a lie. I never had clam. I don't know if clam is good. I actually have no idea if clam is good. Sometimes the shit on my YouTube. Oh, this is such a good song. Everyone should listen to it. Anyway, look, guys, it's going well. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna make it through. We're gonna do great. Okay? We're gonna be so happy. There's gonna be no crab problems. We're all gonna get through this terrible time, and then we're all gonna laugh about it one day. We're gonna point and laugh about it one day. I'm sure. Now I have a bad story for you. I tutored this kid. I tutored this kid in math, and he told me today. He said a racist thing to me today, like a very deeply racist thing. I don't really know how to deal with that, but that's how my days go. Like that's how my day's going. The kid I tutor said a deeply racist thing to me. And I don't even think he meant to be racist, but he did say it. This kid playing COD is an insane question. He's like 15. He's just a little bit upset. Whatever. He said like an insane thing to me, and I just sat there, and I had to sit down and explain to a 15-year-old why he was racist. And I've never had to do that in my entire career. Like to an individual. Usually I just ignore them because I don't care. But I don't know, I had to for some reason. I felt like a need. It was so weird. But whatever. We are good. I fixed it. I solved racism, everybody. So we're gonna go home and be happy. We're gonna go home and not think about the bad thing. Don't think about the bad thought. Remember, everyone, if you take the medicine drug, the bad thought will go away. 15 is an unforgivable age to be racist. Look, he's a 15-year-old kid. Like he's like you need to understand. Everyone's kind of stupid for a really long time. I have to give it to him. I do unfortunately have to hand it to him. Can I solve sexism too? Yeah, sure, I can solve it right now. Women. Updutes in the chat. Men. Updutes in the chat. Non-binary people. Updutes in the chat. Everyone, this is what we should all do. Sexism is over. Thank you. No more sexism. Now let me fix the economy. Guys, like, look, this is a graph. This is the S&P 500. Sam, look. Big money. Money. Time. Sam, look. This is the S&P 500 right now. It's right here. This is what I'm going to do to it. Right? Now we have insane money. Insane money. I fixed the economy. Thank you very much. Don't say women be shopping in my chat. Women do not be shopping. In fact, I have found out over the last couple of weeks that in fact it is the men who do be shopping. Men be shopping. Men be shopping. Have you looked at what men do on their phone all day? They're always like, oh, I'm looking at this driver. I really wanted to get it for my drill. Like, they do be shopping. The men are shopping. The women are not shopping. Women do not be shopping. I wrote when instead of women. Okay, exactly. You know what? Maybe I didn't solve sexism. In fact, maybe I did. Maybe I've just perpetuated it. In fact, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Kiki. You have solved sexism. Everyone be shopping. Everyone. That's the most important thing we've learned today. Thank you for coming to today's TED Talk, and thank you for being a viewer of the Webcomics Hubcast. I'm so tired. Oh, I should say, and I think it's important to recognize, that there is a real environment that we need to expect where the webtoon acquisition shit, in terms of, not acquisition, but like working with the American comics shit, is going to like kind of cascade into us losing, because you're going to kind of going to cascade into us losing pieces like Webcomics and Namiko. I don't know how bad that's gonna get. I don't know how bad that's gonna get, but it might happen. Anyway, that's the entire stream. That's it. I have no deep thoughts on that one. That was just like a thought, like a random last minute thought. That's all. Thank you everyone for coming to today's stream. As always, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Remember to give me money on patreon.com/webcomicshub. The monthly videos are coming back on Patreon. The monthly videos are coming back on the Patreon. I couldn't end on a good note. That just isn't who I am on the inside. But remember, everyone, never give up. Never give up. Monthly videos are coming back to the Patreon. I also hope to see you guys next week. As always, I love you. And thanks for watching. Bye. I need to like become a normal person one day. Maybe that's what I need.